For some of us, we are not so fortunate. We are surrounded by people who kind of are not very supportive, who in fact remind us of all our inadequacies. But when it comes to how you look, there is only so much you can change, right? It's genetic,
Right.
and unless you're willing to throw money at it and go under the knife, there's not really much you can do about it. So to those people who allow these inadequacies to define who they are, to define standards of beauty for them, and to ultimately hold them back in life, what would you say to them?
Gosh, it's tough. I think we all struggle with self-identity and body
Yeah,
positivity
of
and,
course.
having these sort of things. And I think you just have to realize that the only person who's getting in your way is you. And you can let this noise of naysayers and people who want to be critical impact your life, or you can
Hmm.
say, this has nothing to do with who I am as a person, what I have to give, what I have to offer. And I think sometimes you just really have to find something outside of the way that you look that you can identify with. For me, once I had my mastectomy and I got to the point where I just said, okay, I'm never going to be a famous model. I'm never going to be able to compete in pageants anymore. All of those big dreams and hopes I had for myself, like that's off the table. And I started developing other aspects of my personality that I found value in. I started delving into new hobbies, new talents, nurturing those aspects of myself that had little to nothing to do with the way that I looked. And that was
Yeah.
so, so helpful. But then I also realized as time went on, like I said before, I was the only person that was putting these limits and restrictions on what I could do in my life on myself. And once I got past that, once I realized, hey, just because I might have scars or I might not have the breasts that I had before, or my body might not be exactly the way that it was, that doesn't mean that I can't go out and pursue my dreams and chase
Hmm.
those big, lofty goals I had for myself. And it wasn't until I was 30, which in the modeling world is you send you off to pasture. Your career is done and over with, and you're useless. Um, I had the opportunity to model for Sports Illustrated. And I was the first woman with a mastectomy to model for Sports Illustrated swimsuit. Something that I never in a million years thought, one, I could do even before I had a mastectomy. And to do that
Yeah.
in my 30s, post mastectomy, it was just this game changing moment for me in realizing the world was my oyster. And
Yeah.
if you just let those naysayers and that negative talk stop you from chasing your dreams, it's going to be the most limiting thing in your life. And you just have to find a way to block out the noise. That's the best advice I can give.
That's a beautiful message because we live in a very strange world that's constantly changing. So you never know what opportunity is going to come around. Also, I think when you dismiss yourself based on how you look, you're deciding a future that hasn't played out yet, which is
Oh yeah.
just,
Yeah. And then also the standard of beauty changes every 30 seconds. So,
yeah, yeah.
what's in now, what's popular now, what you think you want to look like or who you want to emulate. I mean, 20 seconds later, it's going to be somebody else. So
Yeah.
you just have to find that. I hate using the term inner beauty, but you really have to find something about yourself where you say,
Yeah.
hey, I like who I am. And I heard this great thing actually this morning. I was like scrolling through TikTok or something like that. And someone was saying, if you focus on loving yourself, it's almost a
Hmm.
limiting thing because you're on the outside looking in at like this idea of who you are. But if you focus on loving the experience of being you, the experience of being yourself, that is such a freeing and amazing thing where you're able to come together, to grow, to love yourself as you change along the way. And I just found that to be a very, very powerful thing.
Hey, thank you for watching this clip. And if you want more, the full conversation will be available right here. If you're enjoying the content, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you and take care.